You're watching HCAM Television.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to HCAM Sports Talk Live. I'm your host, Tom Nappy, and we have a great show for you today. As always, joining us, we have Mike Terosian, we have Kevin Stone. We believe Jared Keene is going to be popping in momentarily as well. We'll take you through what is going on and what the latest and greatest is in winter sports. We'll have our Week 14 picks, plus a whole lot more. But before we get to any of that, a couple reminders for everybody out there. The registration is open for Hopkinton Little League Baseball and Softball. The deadline is January 31st. Head over to hopkintonlittleleague.org. Click register now if you or your child is interested in playing some baseball or softball with Hopkinton Little League. Get those registrations in. Deadline January 31st. And also, if you're looking to play some Hillers High School sports, which of course you have to be a student at Hopkinton High School in order to do so, registration for winter sports, their deadline is December 10th. Guess what? That's what? Tomorrow.
Yes,
So I hope you're registered by now, but if you're not, get to that Family ID website and get those registrations in, or you could have some issues. So winter sports deadline is tomorrow. And speaking of winter sports, we're certainly excited for high school winter sports. And so far, it looks like they're still going to play. I mean, things don't look great out there. There's some ugliness going on with the COVID situation. A couple schools, not really in our local area, but in the state, have folded for the winter sports season. But as of right now, we'll have TVL, we'll have Hockomock, we'll have the local teams playing. But we got Jared Keene here, Kevin Stone, Mike Terosian. Guys, how are you?
Good, Tom. How are you, man?
I'm good, Tom. Thanks for having me on again, as always.
Tap it, fellas.
Absolutely. Glad you guys could make it. And I'm doing well. I mean, I'm on a sports show with you three gents. So how much better can it get?
That's true. It can't get much better than that. Oh,
Jets is pushing it.
Well, yeah, it's true. But it's looking like we'll have some winter sports. The meetings are ongoing as far as the planning process. And I guess the latest and greatest of what I've been told is practice is supposed to start December 14th, and the games will start into the new year in 2021, which hopefully will be better than 2020. But games are going to start after the New Year's. But obviously the COVID situation ramping up. But I guess the good news is the new regulations imposed by the governor doesn't affect anything sports-wise, except it'll probably heavily impact if there are spectators allowed or not. So if I had to guess, and I'm only just guessing here, it's probably going to be very limited spectators, if any at all. Have any of you guys heard anything? I know there was one school who folded up. I can't think of the name off the top of my head. Weston, I believe. But have you guys heard anything more?
No, I heard similar things about, fans being allowed. You got to allow at least one parent in for a kid. I mean, it's kind of asinine that at least one parent can't watch their kid play. Now, I understand, there's a lot of small rinks around here, especially Central Mass. So, yeah, it's going to be tough. But to not have anyone in the stands, I think is a little outrageous. But I understand it to a certain extent. But not having any parents, that's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, we certainly hope that parents could go watch their kids play. But with the regulations of indoor gatherings of what now, like 25 people or something like that, I don't even know.
Yeah.
I just think that could have an impact, especially with the arenas, hockey wise, where the arena controls who's able to go and not go. And obviously, if you're looking at a place like the New England Sports Center, they have quite a few rinks in there. So there could be a couple games going on at the same time. So perhaps fans there might be a little improbable.
Yeah,
But-
I'm looking forward to. I'm looking for.
I thought I heard something for at least for.
Go ahead, Jared.
Oh no, sorry, Mike. I thought I heard something where for basketball, it's kind of up to
Ooh,
each
Jared's
league to decide on whether. But some leagues might also not allow fans. I think it's kind of up to each league, I think, to decide how many fans they want, or if they want fans, or so. We'll see what kind of comes out of that. I mean, I agree. I think.
I'm sorry, you can continue on. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, I agree. I think, I think parents should, I agree with Kevin. I think parents should be able to watch their kids, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, well, I've always said that too. The parents, with everything that they have to put in, all the time, all the money, and so forth, that they should go. However, let's be smart out here. Let's, wear the mask, do the safe thing. If it's safe saying don't go, then don't go. And the town, especially the athletic director at Hopkins, has worked his butt off to work with making sure that we covered every single sporting event that they had during the fall one season, both sub-varsity and varsity. So they are working. They want the parents to see it, but you know what? They want the kids to play. The kids want to play. And you're going to be inside now. You're also talking about athletic centers. Granted, Hopkins got a big house, but if you look at it now, it's like one big classroom. And, to make it work, how they're going to make it work, who knows? Also, during the day, to get into the athletic center into Hopkins, you have to come from the atrium up above and go downstairs. Whereas a lot of gyms, you just go through one door and you're in. So it's hard. It's a hard decision to make. And I just hope that no one gets upset with the decision that's made. Because you're not going to please everyone.
Right. And the people I feel most bad for right now, the athletic directors, they don't want to restrict parents from going to see their kids play. They don't want to have to do this. They don't want to have to kick fans out that don't have a lanyard.
Right.
But unfortunately, that responsibility has fallen heavily on their shoulders. It's the last thing they want to do. Most athletic directors are parents of athletes or former parents of athletes themselves that loved going to watch their kids play, such as Rich Cormier, for example, who's a parent of a young athlete, enjoys watching his kids play. They don't want to restrict parents. So don't blame the schools. Don't blame the athletic directors. Don't blame the leagues. None of them want to do this. They want the fans. They like the atmosphere with the fans.
Yeah.
They like the revenue from the fans. They like making that ticket revenue. So this is state mandates, government mandates, and it's unfortunately mandates that they have to follow because of the COVID situation. So just put your blame in the right place, I guess is all I'm saying.
Yeah, let's just let it happen. Let these kids get playing. Let's, they're doing everything they can to get it all streamed. And I'm going to be very proud and bragging that we are covering downhill skiing starting next week. We're over at the Ward Ski area. Matter of fact, I'm going down Sunday with producer John Ritz, who's going to cover all the events on Tuesday and Thursday nights. And we are going to be streaming live from there twice a week. That's huge.
Are we going to have John in the lift with the camera?
So I mean, if they're limiting fans outdoor in a ski area, what do you think at the athletic center? What do you think at the ice rink?
Right.
Keep them out. Let's just let these kids play, get this lousy year over with, and hopefully next year we'll be back to normal.
But don't worry, folks. In Hopkinton, we got you covered. We'll have all your sports in the winter live on the HCAM channels. We're working out the details of that, but we'll certainly have all the varsity games, and we'll likely have a good portion of the JV games as well. And speaking of Hiller Sports, next week, right here on HCAM Sports Talk Live, we'll be joined by Hopkinton High School Athletic Director Rich Cormier, to talk about the winter sports situation. And then on the next show, the 23rd, we'll be joined by Hopkinton Hillers boys basketball coach Tom Keene to talk about this year's basketball team. And by then, they'll have a few practices under their belt and we'll be pretty close to tipping off the season. So exciting things coming up. But the good news, it's looking like winter sports are going to happen as of right now. There hasn't been any major cancellations. A couple schools have called it quits. No leagues that we know of as of right now, which is good. Hopefully it stays that way. But I just think the most important thing when it all comes down to it, the kids get a chance to play, especially the seniors in their last year of eligibility. It's important that they are able to get out there and play the sport they love.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and real quick. Sorry, Tom, real quick. I'll actually be talking to a new girls hockey coach, Scott Hayes, tomorrow. So we'll have a story this week as well about him taking over.
The Hopkinton Dover Sherborne coach, right?
Yep.
Ah, terrific. And that's right. He's one of the people I'll be reaching out to the very near future to get on this show. And last year, that girls hockey team was pretty young. They weren't the most dominant team, but they have talent for sure. They had a lot of young talent, a lot of good speed, and a good pool of athletes to choose from too. So I'm looking forward to watching that girls hockey team potentially take another step up this year. And the news about them this year is they will be playing at the New England Sports Center along with the boys team in Marlborough. They used to be at the Blackstone Valley Iceplex in Hopedale. Now they're moving to the New England Sports Center, which is nice to see. I love it down there at the New England Sports Center.
Yeah, thank God. That Hopedale rink is freezing.
Me too.
And
I agree. I can't stand that Hopedale rink. That Hopedale rink is brutal.
Oh, it is. It is.
Freezing cool.
Brutal.
You want to talk about small arenas.
Seriously.
So look for Kevin's article in the Metrowest Daily News with the interview with the new girls hockey coach for Dover Sherborne Hopkinton Co-op. I'm looking forward to reading that article, Kevin. So we have all kinds of crazy.
Love that you're having Tom Keene on.
Oh, when am I having
Tom? I love that you're having Tom Keene on. Tom Keene is awesome. I think I can speak for Kevin as well. Tom Keene is the best, man.
Absolutely.
Both him and Mike Greco, the girls basketball coach, are just awesome. Love both.
Yep.
They are awesome, unlike your internet connection. But
I don't know what the deal is. Usually my internet connection is pretty good. I don't know what's going on right now. Sorry about that. I apologize.
It's not your fault. It's whatever service you have. I blame them. But it happens sometimes. You know, I have those days too. Mine cuts out usually when I'm live for whatever reason, but it cuts out here and there too. It's just one of those days. You got all the students at home, probably stressing out the internet fibers or whatever it is. So, you know, it happens. But don't worry, Jared. We're not holding a grudge against you. We'll blame your provider. We'll call him up after the show and yell at him. But yes, Tom Keene is great, and I'm glad he's back for another season at the helm of the boys basketball team. And they had a tremendous run last year, and they have a lot of good talent coming back. So I'm looking forward to this season for sure. In any case, we have a whole lot of NFL to get to. The New England Patriots, they proved me so wrong in my picks last week. I am embarrassed.
Wait, how did we do in our picks, Tom? By the way, let's get right to that. How did our picks go?
He's
because
excited.
I forgot to email mine in because I wasn't here last week.
Well, Mike went 0-16.
Yeah, that might help your score overall, Tom.
Yes, it certainly will. It certainly will. I didn't even finish adding them up yet. Hold on. Okay, we're good. All right. So, oh wait, no, Pittsburgh lost. That's right.
Yeah, to the team without a name.
Yes, they lost. They lost their undefeated 11-0 record to the team that will remain nameless. That is incredible. Well, Much to the dismay of you gentlemen, I was the grand champion last week. I went I went 10-5. Jared, Bob, and Kevin, you all went 9-6.
It's about right.
So your
I
game
think I
out
would've-
it was very close.
If I set mine in, I think I would have been the 9-6 pool too.
But you know what? I don't deserve to win because I picked the Chargers over the Pats. So
We all
We all
did, didn't
we all picked the Chargers over the Pats.
oh, that's right. We all did. Oh, that's right. We all did. Wow. We're horrible at this. But pretty good week. A lot of upsets. Couple unexpecteds. Washington beating Pittsburgh. Unbelievable. New York Giants beating Seattle. Wow. Is the NFC East for real? They've actually got some great wins in that league. You had Dallas beat Minnesota a couple weeks ago. You got Washington taking down undefeated Pittsburgh. You got the Giants taking down Seattle. Is the NFC back? NFC East back?
I think Washington's the only legit team there, and it's only because of Rivera. I mean, he's clearly whatever he's selling, they're buying. I think it's Washington, and then everybody else pretty much.
I have to agree. I love Alex Smith. I love watching him play. Great to see him back. And I saw a great meme about Alex Smith. This was a guy that had 17 surgeries to repair his leg and almost lost his leg in the process. And then I guess in the Pittsburgh game, he got a big gash on his good leg and was bleeding throughout much of the game, but he stayed out there and he got the win and he overcame a 14-0 deficit. How can you not love Alex Smith? That was a great upset. All right, so I got a question for you guys. Bigger upset of the week. Giants beating Seattle or Washington beating Pittsburgh?
That's a good question.
That's
I
a very good
think
question.
for me, I think it's I don't know. I still actually might think it's maybe Washington beating Pittsburgh, with Pittsburgh's record and how good they've been playing. Getting back to the NFC question, I actually don't really think any of those teams in the NFC East are legit. Washington, obviously, this is a good win for them. And I'm happy for Alex Smith. I wouldn't consider any of these teams legit, though. I wouldn't consider the Cowboys legit. I wouldn't consider the Giants legit by any means. I wouldn't
Well, the
consider the
Cowboys,
Redskins
no.
or the Washington football team really legit. And I think for that reason, I think I'll say, Washington over, Pittsburgh. I mean, the Giants, maybe I don't think the Giants are quite as good as maybe Washington, but Seattle has had some questions throughout the year too, especially on defense. I don't know. So yeah, I mean, this is a tough one, Tom, I think, but I'll say Washington beating Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I have to agree. I think it's Washington beating Pittsburgh. And you know what? I think any team that can go out there, and Alex Smith just came back a few weeks ago. I don't know what their record is under. I think it's like 2-2 or 2-1. But Alex Smith's a legit quarterback. I don't think they had a legit quarterback before Alex Smith. Now that they have one, I think they could be for real. And they beat 11-0 Pittsburgh, which I think automatically throws them in the for real column. Am I saying they'll win a Super Bowl? No, but they obviously could make the playoffs. But who knows? I think they could be competitive with anybody out there if Alex Smith is at the top of his game.
Yeah, I think they can compete just because they have that kind of playoff identity. They're not a very good offensive team, but they'll run the ball and they'll play defense. And if you can get hot, then you can get hot. In terms of the upset, it has to be the Giants. Seattle's at home. That I know there's no fans there. It's still a tough place to play. And to hold the Seahawks to what? 7 points, 10 points, whatever it was.
There was like 9 or something.
Yeah, that's unbelievable.
That is unbelievable, especially with Russell Wilson and DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett and that receiving group. That Giants defense is for real. And if you look at their schedule, every single game they have played has been close. Yeah. And I think the problem with that team, they haven't had the offense, but they've had a pretty good defense that's only getting better. Well, Colt McCoy, I guess, showing he could still win a couple big games in his late career. But if that team starts to develop an offense, look out, because they definitely have a pretty mean defense over there in New York Giant land. And that was a huge upset. And you're right. I mean, hold Seattle to a single digit in the point column. That was pretty unbelievable. Mike, what was your biggest upset? Washington over Pittsburgh or the Giants over Seattle?
Well, it was definitely Pittsburgh. I'm still getting over the 45-0 win of the Patriots. Didn't see that one coming.
No.
I would just say, yeah, I could not believe Pittsburgh lost to Washington. Did not see that coming at all.
That was quite a comeback too. After that first half, I said, "This game is over. There's no chance Washington's coming back."
Right.
Ben will probably throw another 3 touchdowns in the second half. They held this.
It made it exciting to watch. Anytime, there was nobody hungrier than a team that is going up against someone that's undefeated.
Right.
And they proved it. And they almost look like the Patriots of old. Third quarter. Yeah, let's turn this on now.
So there you have it, folks. Mike Tarosian states the Washington football team is like Tom Brady's old-time Patriots.
Tom, I'll be right back on. I'm going to try to deal my internet connection here.
All right.
I'll be right back on.
All right. So Jared is going to go do some technical work. He'll be back with us in a little bit. And I guess we'll wait for him to get to the picks as well. But let's talk about this Thursday's upcoming game, Patriots and Rams, the first Thursday game of the year for the Patriots. And this is going to be a tough one. The Patriots have been able to stay in LA since Sunday because obviously they played the Chargers. So they just stayed there until this Thursday game. At first, there was thoughts because of all the California regulations that they were going to actually have to fly back and then fly back to LA. But I'm glad to see that they didn't have to do that because that makes absolutely zero sense.
Right.
So they were able to stay in LA, just probably not able to go to any restaurants or anything like that. But I think the fact that they're able to stay in LA certainly makes this an easier game for them because they're adjusted to that West Coast time frame. Their body clocks are right. It's not like they're getting off a long 6-7 hour flight to LA to play this game. And I think that's going to be a big help for them on Thursday.
Yeah, I'm with you. And look, for me, I don't think they're a playoff team, but I've come around on the fact that it's fun to at least, follow scoreboard watching again and look at the standings every week again. And, back in 2001, when they won the AFC East, it was like they won the Super Bowl. I mean, ever since then, it was just kind of mundane watching them. So as bad as they look, it's still fun to be, in a race again, I guess. Obviously you'd rather see them right there with Pittsburgh and Kansas City, but going into this kind of game and not knowing what to expect, it's a little more fun than it's been recently. At least I think so.
Oh, absolutely. That game on Sunday was so much fun. I loved it.
Yeah.
It was great. It was like an old school Tom Brady Patriots domination over a bad team. We all missed it. It was great to see a win that wasn't nerve-wracking and had very little pressure pretty much through the entire game. I thought the offense clicked very well. Special teams was the big plus for the Patriots in that game, just exploiting that horrible special teams unit on the Chargers. And Gunnar Olszewski running back a touchdown, running back, what was it, a 60-something yarder later after that. And then he even caught a pass from Stidham. And that game went so good. And Keel Harry caught a touchdown pass from Cam Newton. I didn't think I would have ever seen that day. What a great day it was to be a Patriots fan. And there hasn't been many of those days throughout this year.
It's funny. You mentioned, even N'Keal Harry catching a touchdown on New England Football Journal. I actually wrote if you guys are Seinfeld fans, it was like Jerry, George, and Kramer meeting Kevin, Gene, and Feldman. It was bizarro world all day on Sunday. So, yeah, you mentioned the old school teams. It really did feel like 2001. Even the guy running the punt back, wearing number 80. It's not Troy Brown, it's Gunner, but it had that feel again, at least for a few hours on Sunday.
Right. It was a nice relief to the stress and the anger that we've all had to deal with this season. And of course, it all starts back with Brady leaving and then Gronk signing with Brady and the team looking very grim. And then obviously they started off 2-1. It looked nice for a while, but then they lost like 4 in a row and all hopes were lost. But hey, there's hope. They're 6-6. They're in the picture. They need some things to happen. They need some help, but there's hope. And they have to win out more than likely if they want to get in, because the AFC is very competitive this year. But it's nice to have hope as we head into week 13 of the season. Or what is it? Week 14, 13, 14, week 14. All right. So I'm looking forward to Thursday night's game. I'm not as optimistic about this game, though. I think the Rams are a really good team. I think this is going to be a tough battle. We're waiting for Jared to get to picks, but this is going to be a tough one. It's going to be a really tough one. This Rams team is legit. No, I'll wait.
No.
Oh, he's back. All right, here he is. There he is. All right. So Jared just went and screamed at his internet provider, and they fixed it
pretty
up
much.
for him.
Yep, pretty much. Hopefully.
Yes, he cuts out. All right, let's get to it. Let's get to those picks. Thursday night football. I hate to do it, especially after what they did last week, but
do it.
I gotta pick the Rams. They're just too good. And if the Patriots beat the Rams, I will not pick against the Patriots the rest of the season, no matter what, unless maybe Cam Newton gets hurt or something. Knock on wood, he doesn't. But I got to pick the Rams in this one. I just think their offense is really clicking right now. That defense is stellar. The Rams are desperate for a win, too, as they're in a highly competitive NFC West. I think it is going to be a close game. I think the Patriots will be competitive. I think it'll go down to the wire, and hopefully a fun game to watch. And I hope I'm wrong, but I'm going with the Rams. Jared, who are you going with?
I'm going to the Rams. I got the Rams by at least a touchdown. I think, maybe the Pats can try to hang around, but I think the Rams, like you said, are just too good, are playing too well right now. The Pats are definitely due for a stinker right now, especially coming off a big win. And, I think there's every reason to pick the Rams this week. And again, I hope I'm wrong like you, but Rams it is.
All right. Kevin, what do you got?
I'm going to take the Rams, too. You mentioned the offense. For me, there's just two names. It's Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey. I don't know how the Patriots offense scores.
Yep.
I don't know how they score with those guys on the field. The only chance I do give them is Sean McVay. I think still is one of those coaches who can't handle seeing Belichick yet. So I wonder if, he craps his pants at some point. But in terms of talent, the Rams should run away with this game.
Yep.
And that's a good point, too. McVay, I think, has heart palpitations when he's playing against Bill Belichick. Mike, who do you got?
Well, let's just make it clear across the board here. I'm going with the Rams. You said it earlier, the Patriots are staying on the West Coast, which is going to help. It will help. Rams defense is going to make it so tough for Cam Newton and the Pats offense, because the Pats offense is limited. And I'm with you. I don't know if it's going to be a touchdown, but it is going to be a low-scoring game.
Isn't Edelman returning this week, though? I believe he is.
No, I think he's still a couple weeks out.
Oh, a couple weeks out?
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
I thought it was this week. I thought I saw some.
think so.
All right. I'm probably wrong. But as Bill Belichick once said, Aaron Donald is a factor on every play. But if anyone could coach around this tough Rams defense and shut down their offense, though, it is Bill Belichick. He has shut down McVay before. So I give the Patriots a big plus in the coaching matchup. And that's why I think this is going to be a close game. As long as Cam Newton doesn't turn over the ball, doesn't throw pick after pick, doesn't throw horrible pass after horrible pass, and He plays remotely well. This game is going to be competitive, and hopefully, after last week, after shutting down a Chargers team that I actually thought was better than their record showed, but maybe I was wrong about that, they should have some confidence. And I think confidence is important, especially when you're getting into these later season games and potentially a playoff spot as well. So we shall see. I think it'll be a great game Thursday night. I'm really looking forward to it. All right, but we have other games to pick as well. And the next game we're going to pick, this is an interesting one and a crucial one for both teams. You got the Minnesota Vikings at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, both of them still in the playoff race. Tampa Bay much more than the Vikings, but the Vikings, they're still hanging around a little bit. The Vikings have been so on and off this season. I don't even know what to expect. They lost to the Cowboys a couple of weeks ago. They're 6-6 overall, very unpredictable team. Tampa Bay, though, kind of in the same boat. I think they've been really unpredictable as well. And also, they've lost, 3 of their last 4. I really don't know what to expect in this game, but when you don't know what to expect, I think you just got to go with the GOAT. So I'll go with Tom Brady and the Bucs. They are at home, and I think they're coming off the bye week, and I don't think Brady's going to be really happy if he loses this game. So I'm going to go Tampa Bay, and if they lose this one, who knows? Maybe Brady is one and done over there. Jared, what do you think?
I'm going Tampa Bay. The Vikings come into this game having won 4 of their last 5. But if you look at the teams they've played, they beat Jacksonville, Carolina. They lost to Dallas, and they beat like the Bears and the Lions. I would exactly call that, big wins or, beating some good teams.
Right.
Like you said, I think Tampa Bay is coming off the bye. I think Mike Evans has a big game this week, and Tampa Bay gets it done. Who knows by how much, but Tampa Bay gets it done.
All right, Kevin, what do you got?
So I'm going to go with Tampa here, but I don't love it. I've been on the Bucs bandwagon all year. We've been writing a Tampa Bay Tuesday piece on our site. I mean, I want them to go to the Super Bowl more than anybody, but I also don't trust Bruce Arians coming off of a bye. Tom Brady in his career has always been good off of it, but Belichick works during the bye. Who the hell knows what they were doing in Tampa Bay with the week off? So I wouldn't be surprised if they come out flat, but they need this game just to maintain their playoff position. So I'm going to take Tampa here, but I don't love it.
Yeah, I don't think there is anything to love about this game, really. And if you think about it, Patriots, Cam Newton, 6-6, Buccaneers, Brady, a whole ton of receivers, 7-5, a 1-game difference. I don't know. It's making that Brady Belichick, who means more argument, a little more interesting, I think. Mike, who do you got in this game?
Well, I'm going with the Bucs. You know me, I love going with the team that are coming off the bye. I've been pretty good with my record, with exception of last week. On my record of picking the teams coming off the bye. We know Vikings. They got the playoff hopes, but they need this to be the reality, and I don't think this is the one that's going to do it. So, I see a blowout coming. I think Tom's going to blow up the Vikings.
Oof.
All right. I love that cockiness about you. I've been pretty good at picking the teams coming off the bye.
Right.
Kind of a big deal.
That was one of my big things I said right from the start was I've been picking all these teams coming off the bye, and they've been doing pretty good.
I've been pretty good. That was great. Love it.
Oh, sorry, my internet connection stuck.
This is going to be an interesting game, though. Because Minnesota, I mean, they got some offensive weapons. They got Dalvin Cook. They got Thielen. They got Jefferson, who's up and coming.
Yeah, Jefferson's been playing really well.
Yeah, he's a player to look out for in the future. Possibly a high-level fantasy pick next year for all you fantasy.
If the Vikings do win this game, I think it's, again, because of their passing attack, as well as Dalvin Cook has played this year. The Bucs don't have best secondary. I mean, obviously Tyreek Hill torched them a couple of weeks ago, especially, torched them in the first half.
Yeah, pass defense has been a major issue for Tampa.
So, I mean, if Thielen and Jefferson get going, Vikings have a real chance in this game. And again, like Kevin said, I don't really feel great about it either. But yeah, I mean, Bucs is the pick.
Oh, and by the way, what is up with the Bucks coaching and their play calling? I mean, I don't know who was making those offensive play calls in that game against Kansas. I don't know if it was Brady or Arians. Arians is an offensive coach. I have a hard time believing it was Brady, but I don't know. Arians said it was. I don't know if I believe him, but it was like deep ball after deep ball. I know they have great receivers that have a lot of speed and make a lot of big plays, but if Brady's calling his own offense, is he really going to try to make big play after big play? Because he should know by now what works best for him is the dink and dunk kind of offense, little play after little play, which usually turns into a little play followed by a big play. I didn't like their play calling at all in that game. And I thought their defensive scheme was horrid. How do you only put one guy on the fastest receiver in the league, Tyreek Hill? Coaching's a huge issue with Tampa.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know who's making the calls, but can we all agree that Byron Leftwich is offensive coordinator name and name only? There's no way that he has any say in that offense.
No,
None.
no. You see Arians between like every play offensively with, the play card in front of his mouth, saying something. So I think it's Arians making the calls. I don't know. I'm not in the locker room, so I don't know for sure. But why is he talking between just about every play if he's not saying something? But whoever's making that offensive play calling, they need to learn what Tom Brady does best, and that's dink and dunk up the field. Stop going for big play after big play. It's not going to work, as has been shown against the New Orleans Saints a few weeks ago, the Chiefs last week. I really want to see them hopefully get. I mean, I'm a Tom Brady fan. I'm rooting for the guy. So to see an obnoxious offensive scheme with Brady that doesn't work and should be known doesn't work kind of frustrates. But
Agreed.
We shall
Yeah.
see
Agreed.
what happens.
So, real quick, can we just talk about Bruce Arians and how he looks like a tourist when he puts the thing on in the front? I've never seen a coach do that before. It is the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, and you wonder what the relationship is with Arians and Brady. They don't seem to like each other much. There's been some beef in the media between those two. And it all started in the first game of the season where Arians kind of threw Brady under the bus. Already a little head bopping going on. So maybe Belichick wasn't the problem, Mr. Brady.
Wow.
Frustrating. Yeah, I'm going to go to another team and bop heads with my coach and have a horrible play scheme. All right, next game. We have the Cardinals at the Giants. Two teams right in the playoff picture. The Giants coming off a big win against Seattle. Very unexpected win. Probably made the casinos a whole lot of money. Can they do it again against the Cardinals, who are 6-6? The Cardinals have not been playing well. They've lost 3 in a row. And what have the Giants? The Giants have actually had a little success. They've won 4 in a row. The Giants, who were once 1-7, now 5-7. I'm torn who I'm going to pick in this game. So I'm going to take the sucker's way out and let Mike go first.
Oh, that was harsh. I always hate taking them, but I've got to go with Giants. The Cardinals are coming off, what is it, three straight losses?
Yep.
You struggle off it. Jones is back at quarterback for New York. Yeah, I think Giants got this.
All right. Kevin, who do you got?
Yeah, I'm going to take the Giants here. You mentioned the offense earlier. They have some really good weapons. You have Evan Ingram. You have Golden Tate. You have, there's a few names I'm missing. You have Sterling Shepard. Like, their offense isn't bad.
Sterling Shepard.
So their offense is not bad. And the defense, like you said, is coming on. I wouldn't be surprised if they gave whoever they play in the playoffs some trouble. But especially here, Arizona just feels like, one of those young teams who, once they start losing, they can't stop it. And I think that continues this week.
All right. Jared, who do you got?
I'm actually taking Arizona here. I think Arizona is again due for a win. Again, I know they haven't been playing too well, but I think coming off 3 straight losses, I think they're going to figure out something here and kind of get back on track. I think DeAndre Hopkins is a big game this week. I think Kyler Murray gets it going a little bit this week. And quite frankly, I can't really bear myself to pick the Giants as well as they've been playing. So Cardinals it is.
Ooh.
So
Well-
I'm going Arizona on this one. And I don't feel tremendous about it, but I'm going to go with it for sure.
Well-
Give me Arizona here.
There's nothing to feel tremendous about picking anything in this matchup, but the Cardinals, they've been playing horrible. And as Kevin said, I feel like they are a team that's lost. But as good as Colt McCoy and the Giants were against Seattle last week, I just don't think they could do it again against Arizona. And I'm not saying Arizona is as good as Seattle. They're close, but they're not as good as Seattle. I think it's going to be a close one, but I'm going with Arizona here. And I might regret that because I was really considering the Giants, but I just can't picture Colt McCoy winning 2 games in a row, but the Giants defense is legit. So I guess we'll see. In any case, Kansas City at Miami. This is a crucial game, especially for Miami. Kansas City, I believe, already clinched a spot. But Miami, obviously, they're still fighting for the 1 or 2 seed. But Miami is 8-4, and they are right on the heels of the Bills to perhaps win the AFC East. And they are also, of course, trying to clinch that playoff spot. The Chiefs 11-1. They've clinched the playoff spot. They're fighting for a top seed. But you know what? I don't know. The Chiefs, they've won 7 in a row. I think every dog has its day. Upset special. I'm picking Miami. Jared, who do you got?
I'm going Chiefs here. I like the way Miami's been playing. Again, Miami's 4 of 5, but again, look at some of the teams that Miami's beat. Cincinnati, the Jets. Miami lost to the Broncos. Beat the Chargers and beat Arizona. I wouldn't exactly call that any tremendous wins right there. The Chiefs are too good. Mahomes is too good. Chiefs it is.
They are good. They are good. And normally I wouldn't pick Miami over Kansas City, but I just think this game has letdown written all over Kansas City. Yeah. I think it could be one of those games like Dallas and the Seahawks last week.
The Chiefs are definitely due to be upset.
They are. They are. Kevin, who do you got?
Yeah, I'm going to take KC. I get what you're saying about the spot for Miami, and I don't disagree. But if Kansas City is really, that next team, that next dynasty, this is a game they can't lose.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I love the Chiefs here. I actually think they win by double digits.
Wow. Okay. See how it is. Mike, Mike, who do you got?
I don't know about double digits, but I'm definitely Chiefs. 1, because you said Miami, and 2, the Chiefs is the better team. There's no doubt. But I think that Miami's going to slow down Mahomes a little bit, but Mahomes and the Chiefs are going to come out on top. They will pull this one out.
All right. I think it's very probable that the Chiefs could keep the winning streak going. But, obviously you don't know what you're going to get with Tua, but it should be an interesting game. I think it'll be really high scoring. Go with the over, folks. Tennessee at Jacksonville. Jacksonville is disgraceful. I don't know.
Anybody picking Jacksonville here? Anybody picking Jacksonville?
Yeah, wait. Why are we even talking about this? Tennessee. Is anyone picking Jacksonville? No. Okay. All right. Dallas at Cincinnati. This is a game I guess we kind of have to talk about because it's going to be somewhat close. We won't talk about it much. I'm going with the Bengals. Cowboys are pathetic. Jared, who do you got?
Man. I almost want to call a tie here. I really have no idea who to pick in this one, man. I'm going to go. Oh, man. Give me Dallas. What the heck?
All right.
Give me Dallas. This is probably the worst pick I've ever made. But give me Dallas. I don't even know why. Just give me Dallas. Sure.
In the
Go with it.
dumpster fire matchup of the week, it's the Cowboys and the Bengals. Kevin, who do you got?
Yeah, I'm taking Dallas. If Joe Burrow was playing, I'd take Cincy all day. I just don't know how the Bengals score. I know Dallas is bad, but they're not as bad in that case.
Sometimes they are. I don't know how because they have a ton of talent, but
Yeah.
it's so weird. This team has had talent for years, but they just, even with Dak, they just find ways to be bad. I can't even explain it.
Ezekiel Elliott has had a terrible season. He's had an awful season.
Yeah.
Yes. Mike, who do you got?
I am going to go Dallas too on this because I think Dalton is going to get the best of Cincinnati, his former team, and I think that I think the Cowboys will actually play better. I mean, it's not like they showed up to play. I think they quit halfway through the Ravens game.
Watch, this will be the matchup that sets us apart. Okay,
I actually thought I was going to be the only one picking Dallas here. Probably, I thought all you guys were probably going to pick Cincinnati.
They don't have a quarterback.
Yeah, I don't even know who the quarterback is, but Dallas is awful. They lost to Washington, 41-3, 41-7 on Thanksgiving. How do you do that? At home, Houston at Chicago, matchup of the so-so that's going nowhere. Houston, man, I picked them to beat the Colts last week as an upset special. What a mistake that was. Can't have faith in that team at all. But the Bears, 5-7. They've lost 6 in a row. I think they're a mess. Give me Houston. Jared, who do you got?
I honestly think this could be the hardest game of the week to pick. I really have no idea who to pick here. But I don't know. I don't really believe in the Bears this year, and I'm going to go with Houston for that reason. I could see the Bears coming out and winning this game. Again, I think this is the toughest game of the week to pick, but give me Houston here.
All right, Kevin.
Yeah, I agree with Jared. It's definitely the hardest game. I'm going to take the Bears here. It is in Chicago, correct?
Nope. Yes.
That's the only reason I'm taking the Bears then. Look, they're still somehow in the hunt, and I know their offense is terrible, but the way Houston lost last week, that's a team that has nothing to play for now. So give me the Bears.
By the way, some bragging rights here from me. Do you know what set me apart last week? Picking the Lions to beat the Bears.
Wow.
That was a big one on my part. I'm proud of that one. Mike, who do you got?
You know what? This is where I was torn. I was going to go with the Bears, but, the 6th straight. I wish they had a bye because I'd pick them. No, seriously. I'm going Houston. There was, Houston's still in that playoff hunt, so I think they're going to play it and win it.
All right. Bears, they lost 6 in a row. Can they snap that horrible streak? We'll find out. They are starting Trubisky, by the way, so good luck to Kevin. Denver at Carolina. This matchup, I guess, should be remotely interesting. I have no idea who to pick. I don't know. Give me Denver. They look decent lately. I'll go Denver. They looked okay against the Chiefs last week. Maybe they'll take a step up. Carolina is off the bye, so who knows? Anyways, I'll go with Denver. Let's see. Mike, who do you got?
Well, who's coming off the bye?
I'll just mark you down for Carolina.
Enough said. Enough said.
Jared.
Both these teams stink, man. And I mean, this is a game again. I think both teams could lose. What the heck, man? I mean, both teams come into the game losing 4 of their last 5. I don't friggin' know, man. Give me.
Isn't this your favorite segment?
Actually, this game might be the hardest game to pick because this game.
It's a hard
teams
week.
are awful.
All right, we'll get back to you.
Give me Carolina. What? Give me Carolina. Sure.
All right, Kevin, who do you got?
You guys are overthinking this, man. Christian McCaffrey's back for Carolina. Give me Carolina. He changes their off. He completely changes that team.
I forgot he was back this week. That's a good point.
You know what? I'm changing my pick. I forgot he was back. I'm sorry. Give me Carolina. It's not too late. We're still talking about the game, so I'm changing it. Carolina. Jets at Seattle. Is anyone picking the Jets?
God, no.
Okay.
Heck no.
All I hear is crickets.
How could I do another show sometimes and we do NFL picks, and there was one guy who picked the Jets over the Raiders, and I texted him, man, I can't believe you're actually going to predict probably the only Jets win of the year. And then with 5 seconds left, Carr launches a touchdown to win the game. Unbelievable. And then I'm like, well, I was just kidding. Pretty funny stuff. Jets
Tom, I think I messaged you. Messaged you when I thought the Jets were going to win. And I was like, I can't believe the Jets just won this game. And I was like, oh, wait, never mind.
I saw that later on. That was great. That's funny. The Jets. All right, we got 10 minutes left. Go speed this up a little here. Indianapolis at Vegas. The Raiders were 1 play away from losing to the Jets. Give me the Colts. Jared, who do you got?
Give me the Colts. Again, yeah. I mean, for the Raiders to come that close to losing to probably the worst team in the league, I don't know. I like the Colts here.
All right, Kevin.
Taking the Raiders. Bounce back spot for them, and an emotional win. Emotional win for Indy against a division opponent. Now going out west. That's just a tough spot. So, I mean, I don't love it, but I do think it's a bounce back spot for the Raiders.
A bounce back off an almost loss to a
A
questionable
bounce back
team,
off a win.
to a team that is should probably be semi-pro. Mike, who do you got?
Indianapolis, please.
All right. Okay, Washington football team at San Francisco. Alex Smith revenge. Give me Washington. Jared, who do you got?
I'm going with the 49ers here. I think, I mean, obviously the Washington is going to be playing with some confidence right now, but yeah, give me the 49ers.
All right, Kevin.
Probably going to regret this one, but oh well.
I was going to take the 49ers until I remembered it's in Arizona again.
That's in Arizona. Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Give me Washington here. They're like Jared said, they're playing with a ton of confidence. And you mentioned the Alex Smith thing. I hadn't even thought of that. This might actually be a blowout now that I think of it.
This is good. Well, I think San Fran's defense is a little too good for a blowout.
Yeah, maybe.
It'll be a riveting game, though. And I think Alex Smith is really going to be looking for revenge here after they ran him out of town pretty much. Mike, who do you got?
I'm going with San Francisco. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. I think it's going to be less than 40 points.
Yeah, I think so, too. This could be one of those, 12-9 games. All right, the New Orleans Saints at the Philadelphia Eagles. Is anyone actually going to go with Philly?
Nope.
All right, New Orleans across the board. Philly is, maybe they'll do better with Hurts. He looks better than Wentz, that's for sure. The Atlanta Falcons, who have been playing surprisingly pretty good lately, at the Los Angeles Chargers. I think after watching the Chargers last week, they're a mess. I'm going with Atlanta. Jared, who do you got?
I'm going with Atlanta as well. I don't see how the Chargers rebound after just getting annihilated by a mediocre Pats team. Give me Atlanta here. Julio Jones has a big game this week.
All right, I like it. Kevin, what do you think?
Chargers, they're not that bad. I think that was more of a case of Anthony Lynn just not being able to handle Bill Belichick. So I still think their offense is really good. It's a close game. It's a shootout, but I like the Chargers.
All right, Mike.
I'm going to do the Falcons. I think Ryan's going to outplay Herbert. So, Falcons.
All righty. Green Bay at Detroit. Any reason at all to talk about this game? Anyone picking Detroit?
I actually am.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I think they ride that wave. Look, it's a division game, and for some reason, I talked about this on our show on Monday. It's in my mind's eye, at least, it feels like Aaron Rodgers always plays down to lesser teams, and I feel like he's going to do it again this weekend. It might not happen, but it just, again, in my mind's eye, it happens more often than it should with him. I like Detroit here.
Kevin's upset special.
It is.
Mike, who you going with?
Definitely Packers. The Packers are rolling on their offense right now, and I think it's going to continue to play well. So there's no way the Lions are going to slow down Rodgers.
All right, Jared, Packers.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin makes some good points here with the Lions. I would just feel really dumb picking the Lions and then having come out and lose like 45-3 or something like that, you know? I think you got to
I'm
go with the
used to it by
Packers
now.
here.
But you know what? It's like going for it on like 4th and 2. You could look like a genius, or you could look really dumb.
Right.
That's my life story in a nutshell.
I like it though. I do like Kevin's pick. I think it's a really good point because Rodgers has a very serious problem, especially after getting really good wins of playing down to teams, especially division rivals.
It's
This
so weird.
It is weird. And ever since the Lions got rid of Matt Patricia, they're undefeated at 1-0. So, but the Lions, I really think they're so much better off without Patricia. Man, is he horrible? Never a fan of him. But they are when they put it together, they could definitely keep up with this Green Bay team, and they could put points up too. Stafford is a pretty good quarterback most of the time. So this is I think it will be a game, but I'll stick with Green Bay, but it really won't surprise me if Kevin's right because Rodgers doesn't usually lose to the good teams. He loses to the teams like this.
The bad teams, yeah.
Right. All right. Sunday Night Football. This is a great game. Pittsburgh at Buffalo. Pittsburgh just getting off a horrid loss to the nameless team. And the Buffalo Bills, they've been playing well lately. They're 9-3. And Miami is certainly rooting for Pittsburgh in this game for divisional purposes. This is a really tough game to pick. We're running low on time, so let's get to Mike.
All right, so I'll go quick. I'm going to go with the Bills. I think the Bills are going to pull it off.
All right, Kevin.
Yeah, Buffalo. If not now, when for them? This is a big spot for them, and I like that pull it out.
All right, Jared.
I really want to pick Buffalo here, but I'm going to go Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I really was thinking
go the other way, but I'm going with the Bills.
I really want to pick Buffalo too because I just don't want to see the Steelers win. But I just can't imagine after losing to Washington. I mean, they're playing a good team, so they could lose this. But I don't know. I'm going Pittsburgh, I guess.
I wouldn't be surprised if Buffalo wins this game at all, though.
I'm very uneasy. I won't either. I'm very uneasy about this Pittsburgh pick. I think this is going to be a great game. All right, Monday Night Football, Baltimore at Cleveland. Great division game here. Crucial division game. Cleveland's red hot. Give me the Browns. Jared, who do you got?
Give me the Browns.
All right.
Browns.
Kevin.
Cleveland. This has to be the biggest game for them in what, like 20 years?
Yes.
I love them here.
This is huge. And they just showed they're for real by beating the Titans.
Yep.
Mike, who do you got?
Tell you, I think the Ravens are going to come in and play. You know, the season's on the line here, so give me the Browns.
All right. Browns across the board. I never thought I would see the day. Against the Ravens.
Wow.
Right.
Who'd have thought we'd ever say that?
What has 2020 done to
2020.
the world? Right? Unbelievable. These are hard picks this week. These are really hard picks.
They are
crazy games. It's a great slate.
By the way, watch the Ravens win that game like 35-0 or something, and we're all just gonna look like idiots.
You know they could. Lamar.
Definitely.
If anyone could do it, it's Lamar. If he gets on one of his tangents,
Yep.
just running up and down the field. Cleveland's defense, though, could be an issue in this game because they have struggled in the past at stopping the run. They're not great at stopping the pass. The defense is so-so, but I like their chances. That win against Tennessee for Cleveland was really impressive. So nothing will shock me in this game. This is going to be a good one. And how crazy is it at the thought of Baltimore maybe not even making the playoffs? That is crazy to think about because, Pittsburgh's got the division. They already clinched the playoff spot. They'll at least be the 1 or 2 seed, depending on what happens with Buffalo, really. I think it's their last tough game of the season. A lot can happen in the upcoming weeks here as we close out the NFL football season.
Just lastly, I don't think there's any room for mediocrity this week. I think we're either going to some of us are going to go 13-3, or we're going to go 5-11 or something with our picks. There's going to be no 8-8. There's going to be no 9-6. 9-7 or whatever. We're going
All right.
we're going 13-3, or we're going
Yep.
6-10.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining us. I have to agree. But we got to wrap it up. For everyone at HCAM, for Jared and Kevin, I'm Tom Nappy. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next Wednesday at 3. Take care, everyone.